Welcome back. Did you do your homework? I hope so. The only way that you're going to be able to get what this course is meant to give you is if you actually do the homework. So if you didn't do the homework, pause here, go back, finish up the vision section, and then meet us on the other side. Now, I heard an expression a couple of years ago, several years ago, it said, vision without action is delusion. And the man who said it was Jim Rohn, a very famous speaker, motivational speaker. And when I heard that, it immediately struck a chord with me, and it has stayed with me ever since. You can create the best vision of your life, but if you are not willing to then put in the work and create a plan, your vision will never come to pass. I grew up with people who had big dreams, who had a lot of things that they said that they were going to do, and they didn't get a lot of it done because they didn't do the really important part after the dreaming, which was to actually do the work. I'm going to tell you a quick story. There was a young man, I'm going to call him Kevin. And Kevin was a member of a dance program, a youth program that my sister runs, and we knew him and have known him since he was in high school. Back when he was in high school, I did a workshop similar to what we're talking about right now, during which Kevin said that he just wanted to be somebody. He had a vision for himself of coming up out of his circumstances and really becoming something in this world. And he was a creative at that point, he was a dancer. And so, we talked. He created a little plan, his plan, not a little plan, but really actually a good plan. And he ended up graduating from high school at the top of his class. He ended up graduating from the college of his choice after going to 2 other colleges that just didn't feel like a good match for him. And once he got out of college, he was living in New York City, working as a dancer and working part-time at an international clothing company. We're going to call it The Bridge. And his job was pretty simple. He was a clerk. So he was folding clothes, doing some cashier work, that type of thing. But again, he knew he wanted to do something bigger, and he knew that he could do something bigger for the company. So what he decided to do, he had a two-part goal. I'm going to talk about goals. He set a goal for himself. He wanted to educate the people in the store, the people who ran the store, about how they can position their clothing, how they could style their mannequins and dress up the store in such a way to attract a younger, broader target population. The market had been diminishing in that space for this particular company. They were losing young people, they just weren't buying their stuff. And so Kevin knew that if he could show them how to style their clothes, they could have more success in that market. He also had another motive, which was that he wanted to become the social media person for that particular store. They didn't have one at the time. So what he did, remember he's a dancer, he's a choreographer, he choreographed a set, pulled together some of his dancer friends, styled them in this company's clothing, and after work, shot a whole commercial, a professional quality grade commercial that was so impressive that the people who ran that particular store created a position for him as social media coordinator, and other stores, also other branches followed suit and also created that same type of position. Kevin had success there. Fast forward about 10, 15 years, he's now the creative director of his own company and also a senior director of social media work at another company. The moral of the story, why am I telling you the story? He got there because after he created his vision of wanting to be somebody, he made a plan. If you don't plan, you don't have the chance of creating the vision, of realizing the vision that you want for your life. You have to have goals, a clear vision, right? You have your clear vision, but the goal is now the roadmap. When you have a goal, it's specific. How am I going to get there? What am I going to do to bring myself closer to my vision? He knew that his goal, his overarching vision, again, to be a creative person, to be a big person in the creative space. He set a small goal, a tangible goal. I want to be a social media coordinator for this store, and I also want to educate them about how they can elevate their brand around a certain market. That was his goal, a 2-part goal. And then he created his objectives, the steps that he took to bring those goals to fruition. Hiring dancers, getting the choreography, scheduling the space, getting them dressed in such a way that the store owner, the managers could see the clothing differently. That is how he was able to create a life, create a professional track of success. He set a vision, created a goal, and then made the specific time-stamped steps that he was going to take to create that goal. And in addition to his overarching goal from his professional space, he also created personal goals to help him get to or be successful in creating the professional goals. I'm a recovering procrastinator. I'm gonna put my hand up. And there was a time when I never did anything around goal setting, nothing. And I lost a lot of opportunities because I didn't understand the importance of this step. So it's really important that you get this. So the way I live my life, this is the way Kevin now lives his life as well. I plan out my week on Sundays. I know what I'm gonna eat during the week. I know what clients I'm going to meet, what phone calls I'm going to make. I have certain days that are just for marketing. I have certain days that are just for planning. I have certain days that are just, working on my brand and my website. I plan those things out on Sunday so that during the course of the day, I'm not sort of walking around with my fingers crossed, hoping things are going to work out. And by the time I get to Friday, I'm not looking back on my week wondering what happened to my time. I'm looking at things that I have checked off and that I've accomplished. Now, sometimes you have to be flexible, right? Things happen. Surprises happen, emergencies happen, so we have to sometimes make changes in our plans. But when you have goals and objectives, if you do fall off or you have to make a change, you have something to fall back into. It gives you bounce back ability when you have a plan, when you have a goal. So maybe it didn't work out. Maybe somebody got sick, or maybe somebody called in sick and you had to go and take a couple of days off that you didn't expect. At least if you have a written plan, and a plan that's not written, that's not a plan. When you have a written plan, you can say, okay, I missed out on Monday, I missed out on Tuesday, I had to take care of that. How can I move some things around so that by Friday I can still get done what I said that I was gonna get done? And if I didn't get them done, if I'm not able to get them done, then maybe I move them to the next week. It allows you to give you mastery over your time. Time is the most valuable resource that you have. It's an unrenewable resource. So when we plan, when we have goals, when we have objectives connected to time, it allows us to manage our time and allows us to invest our time in those things that are going to move us forward. But again, no plans, no success. What I want you to do now is go back to your workbook. We have a whole section in there where we ask you to create a big goal for yourself. Something that you've always wanted to do, something that you're working on. Maybe it's a summer goal, maybe you want to get your driver's license, maybe you want to write your college essays, maybe you've been procrastinating on getting your resume and your cover letter together. What is one big thing that you want to accomplish? Use the worksheet in your workbook to write it out. I want you to write it out, fill it out, this is my big goal, and then underneath it where it says these are the specific steps I'm going to take, and these are the times that I'm going to do those steps, fill that out. Make it a big goal, something that's important to you, something that you know that when it's done and you check it off, you'll feel that sense of accomplishment, right? We talked about it. The vision is important. The vision is going to pull you, but the goals, the objectives that are tied to time will help you make sure that you're making the best of your time and help you move closer to your goal. That is going to help you become more successful. So again, go back to your workbook, do the work, do the homework, fill out your goal sheet, fill out the times, the tasks that you're going to do to move closer to that, and I'll see you in the next session.